Hello and good evening and welcome to
The
Truth Between Two.
Yeah, between the two.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, welcome to the Truth Behind the Truth.
Yes.
I'm trying to say I'm getting a phone call coming to the guys. Darnell will probably be here in a little bit, guys. But anyway, well, you got us. And
yes, happy Sunday, everybody. How
Sunday,
you
happy
doing?
Sunday.
I hope it's sunny where you're at.
Right.
And not too hot either.
Right.
And to be honest with you,
Exactly.
I just hope it's not too hot. Because it's been hot. Yes. And we've been catching some fires out here in LA too. Yes, outside of LA, but we've been catching all types of, dry heat.
Yeah, true. If I'm looking down, guys, I'm making everybody aware that we live. All right, so I'm right here. I'm listening to. But yes, it's been hot. It's been hot across the nation. Hot in LA. I mean, a lot of hotness is going on, and of course in our country, But I'm excited. I think I'm excited once again for the.
Well, I'm excited myself. I like the fact that they're with this switch up. That it has kind of, when you go to the. Let me give you this example, and I hope this lands correctly. It's like going to the gym. You haven't been in the gym for like a few months.
Okay, right.
And you go into just a normal workout, and your body goes through a natural shock. When your body goes through a natural shock, it's like, you feel lightheaded, but you're not really lightheaded, but you feel like you're about to throw up because your body has not been doing it for a while and it's trying to catch up. That is the political situation that's going on right now since that, Joe Biden is out and Kamala is in.
I like your scenario.
They're going through a body shock right now because the other side don't know what to do because they've been so geared towards hitting Joe Biden. Now they don't know how to. They don't know how to hit Kamala. It's kind of like
that's okay.
It is okay. I kind of like this feeling of uncertainty to how to deal with this new person because all we know is that she was a prosecutor in San Francisco and she's been working in the Senate and all this stuff. Yeah, that's all they know, and then they like to bring up the misogynoir and the race and this, and that right there is very telling. I thought we surpassed all of that.
Right.
See, that's the thing about this country that we don't see color, we don't see gender, we don't see a lot of that stuff. That's why we don't need these DEI programs.
Right.
But then you keep bringing it up. That's what I don't quite understand. Why bring up somebody's gender because of their qualifications or their race because of their qualifications? And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. But this is my rant because I feel like at the end of the day we should bypass all of this. So I'm like, in my mind, what is this all about? And if you feel the same way, please put it in the comments. What is this all about? I thought in this country we didn't see race, nor did we see gender.
Right.
I hope.
Well.
But I don't. It's no surprise to me because I know the history of this country was based on the patriarchal ways of doing things when it boiled down to white men and where they were seated in the beginning of when this country was founded and when the government was constructed, when the Constitution was written. We all know that they were supposed to be ahead of the line. And I hate to say this, but it is the truth.
Right, exactly.
It's the way it was. It was the way it was supposed to be until things changed. The civil rights movement. Well, let's talk about the freedom of the slaves, and then years went on down the road where we didn't have full citizenship, because we didn't have the right to vote up until 1965. But then come a whole lot of other stuff. Women had gotten the right to vote. Exactly. Then you had people moving in from other worlds that came in, and so it's just at the end of the day, we would have been bypassed all of this craziness. But now that Kamala is running, I think the cat's out the bag.
Yeah,
I think it's coming. The chickens are coming home to roost.
Exactly. Well, and thank you for elaborating on all of the things.
Yes, Miss Kamala, Miss Madam Vice President. Yes, ma'am.
Soon to be Madam President.
Yes, yes.
I know some of our viewers are going to have a fit. Okay, I mean, I get it. The Trump supporters are going to be Trump supporters. Okay, hey, you have your different collectives of opinions, and that's all right. That's what our democracy is made up of. At the end of the day, I just want us to be able to hold on to.
If there is a democracy when he's president, because I'm not no fool to this situation where people are making it out. Well, he don't mean what he's saying, and when he says stuff, it's y'all taking it the wrong way. Now, did you hear this new rant that he said when he told the evangelicals?
Oh, I know.
Did you hear that?
Please.
Did you hear? Did you know? I loved every minute of it because it's been hey, all of this fear that I kept saying to myself. He has learned from his Uncle Adolf. He is German American, right? He's Uncle Adolf. He's German American, so he has learned play by play what Uncle Adolf did, and now he's trying to be Uncle Adolf.
Uncle Adolf Jr.
Yeah. Okay. Uncle Adolf has taught him some things. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I want to welcome. Oh my God, my wonderful brother.
Hey, Mr. J. Somerville.
Thank you for taking the time, my brother, to be a part of. Love your comments. He feels his opinion that Miss Biden, Vice President, is not fully Black American. Okay, hey, I respect my brother, but he's wrong. But I expect him. At the end of the day, but we're gonna get him on the show one day because he is. As they say, a Black Trump supporter. Okay, it's okay. We fought to fight about it, but I still love him. But hey, he may have that one wrong. I don't know.
I really would love to play this for some of them who want to keep going. I'm going to get it up here.
So, but anyway, yeah, I think that it is going to be okay. Let me be in the middle. Okay, you guys know I like being in the middle. Okay. In one aspect, if Donald Trump wins, it'll be a win-win situation for a certain group of people.
Yes, it will.
If President Harris wins, it'll be a win-win for a bunch of people. So it just depends on how that each side is going to play a part of that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Yeah. So I would submit to everybody that you may not agree. I get it. I understand. But at the end of the day, we got to find a happy medium to get along, regardless of who is in office. Now, I'm going to Canada if Trump wins. Okay. So I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm going to Canada. We're going to Canada. All right. So, but
it matters. Getaway escape. Lord. Don't tell all our business.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't put it all out there and don't put it out there that we're gonna be moved. Let's just say this: we are going on a vacation. We just need after the situation. We're going on a vacation to Canada just to get away from all the craziness.
See from an upper perspective, of things. But for those that are supporting it, and again, I've talked to a lot of people that have been, and then the more majority of the support comes from an economic standpoint. I mean, I can respect that. They feel like, we can sit here and talk about economic situation, but I refuse to blame any administration for what is and what isn't, unless you put it in debt.
Yeah.
Okay, huge debt. Then that's a different story. But that's something that I think that we have to look at Congress. We have got to look at the people behind the people that are making these decisions and keeping this country in a discord, because it needs to change. I'm sorry. We talked about this on the previous show. What was our in-between show? We talked about how, the in-between show we did. Because it's really, all them old people need to get out of Washington. I'm sorry. They need to go. Okay. And that's what needs to be really voted out, because I think that we can all come into a common understanding when we get with the moleheads, but they are clinging to some idea or whatever. They feel like they're padding to get their agenda pushed. Not so much Donald Trump's agenda. Because I frankly think he don't really care. At the end of what the agenda is as long as he carries that title, he don't care. But it's the ones behind him that's pushing, like that clown that he's picked as a VP. Now, come on, really?
He has Donald, the personality of a turnip.
No, a snail. All right,
dry toast.
Okay, he could have picked anybody better than that. I would have rather have seen him go back and pull He could have pulled Chris Crispy out of Krispy Kreme and brought him back. I would have more respect for Krispy Kreme than I do for that clown, JD, whatever his name is, because he's a clown. He's a worse clown than Trump was really. And how would you even take the remote to say to women, especially in this, you got women that are going through all kinds of fertility issues. Okay, that will or cannot are trying to, and they're saying that they are not significant because they don't have kids. Man, they ought to do some shit on your windshield when you said that.
Let's add this. Let's add this. Your wife.
Oh wow.
Well, he said somewhere in a recent interview that there has been some racism going about his wife.
Oh, really?
But to be honest with you, she's not white, but she's a good mom. She's not. I'm so sorry that she's not white, but she's still a good mom.
Oh, okay.
So that tells me that really something's kind of off.
Well,
that.
The way she looked, her and Kamala could be cousins.
Well, they are cousins.
Okay, well,
Kamala's mama was Indian American.
Right. So let's not talk about Kamala not being American. Okay, brother. Okay, because the potential vice president,
nobody's pure.
Well, I know, but
nobody's pure on this dance floor. Now let's get this handled. Okay. I'm so tired. At the end of the day, either you're in or you're out.
Right.
Now I don't have a problem with her being of any type of Indian descent or Jamaican descent. That's not the problem with me. The problem is, my issue is where you're going to stand. I don't care where you come from. It's where you stand in this dance already with what are you connecting with who you're trying to get as voters. I have issue with the fact that people say, well, as vice president, she hasn't been doing anything. But was Pence doing anything when Trump was president? See, that's the thing. That nobody was Biden doing anything when Obama was president. We didn't see what they were doing behind the scenes, nor do we know what they are doing behind the scenes. So this thing about she was a bad vice president. She never went down to the border. Well, honey, if she didn't go down to the border, then she might have been doing something behind the scenes to help the situations down at the border. Right. But then on top of that, what did you even build that damn wall? You kept telling us that Mexico was going to build. Right. That's my thing. Where you go? Where is the wall? Where's the wall?
So my thing is, okay, so if the wall would have gotten built, okay, would that have solved the immigration problem?
No.
It would not have,
because it hasn't been built.
Well,
it's a never land type of wall. It has never been built.
It's never land. But and I get it. And we all have our opinion about immigration. At the end of the day, I think it's an over the abundance of flood of people coming in? Yes. Okay. Did 1776 when they started taking over, when it's still in this land from the Indians, it was over the abundance of flood at that time. Okay. So
Trump just need to come back and say he wants the quota system. See, that's the thing. Stop. Yeah. You need to be real about it. You just want the quota system to come back, which means you don't want certain other people to come in, but you want these people to come in. Well, see, this is where
that's the general mindset of all.
Every president but one are connected generically, except one, and the one that's not President Obama.
Okay.
But that's my thing. Come out and say how you really feel about the immigration system. Just say you want the quota system.
Okay, but you can't do that because you depend.
It would be real as hell. I don't want him to say it, so I can see where he's.
But you depend upon the Latino vote, so therefore you're not going to get it. You're not going to say it,
please.
But it's like Trump for the Latino friends. That's what one of his posts.
Black friends too,
So my thing is like you get mighty desperate when you won't vote. Because all of these promises, all of these allegedlys that keep coming up, and I'm just tired of that. Look, man, come up with the policies, okay? Come up to what's absolutely going to happen. Now, you can talk about Kamala all you want to, but trust and believe she's going to come up with the policies, and she's going to let you know about the policies that she is going to make an attempt to get passed. Now, of course, you all may not like it or whatever. At the end of the day, she's going to have an uphill battle. Yes, to say that she gets to be president, which most of Americans hoping right now. She's going to have an uphill battle because she still got to deal with that idiot Congress that we got and that idiot Senate that we got. So if you guys think whether Trump coming or Kamala's coming, at the end of the day, that same uphill battle is still going to hit them on both sides. Yeah. Now the Trumplicans, okay, they line themselves up. Okay, some of y'all don't want to talk about Project 2025. Okay, he denounced it and whatever came, but his
Heritage Foundation hasn't announced it, and they have given him billions of dollars in his campaign.
Have too. and then like I said on the previous show, you asked his buddy and friend Steve Bannon, whatever his name is, the one that got locked up.
Him.
Well, yeah, because he was an author behind the 2025 setting it up. So he was author behind it. He was one of the authors in putting it together because he wanted to see certain communities oppressed. Okay, and that was his motive. But anyway, facts behind facts, but y'all don't like facts. I want to deal in the land of fluff, about stuff. But anyway, so where it stands, I get it. We are putting our legislatives out there for who we think that we're going to vote for, and that possibly we're going to.
Well, is there any other person? Well, no. Is there any other person besides Kamala, besides Trump? See all those people who out here complaining, well, don't vote for Kamala, don't vote for Trump. Well, what are we going to do? Who else has got a plan? Right. Who else is going to put themselves out there?
Maybe they want to vote for Putin.
And that's my who. Hey, you know what?
They may want to vote for Putin.
He's geeked out about controlling the world, including the United States.
Kennedy. Oh well, no. Yeah, right. Kennedy.
Kennedy. Oh, Kennedy going. Yeah. Well, no, he ain't.
No.
He haven't even tried. He has not tried hard enough for me to see him as somebody who's trying to run.
The problem that I've observed about him, they're this is one candidate I said there's nothing believable behind.
Yeah,
I mean, if Bernie Sanders wasn't old, I would have loved to see Bernie try again.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? Especially the state of where everything is at this point. Now, of course, the far left, right, whatever, in between, whatever you are, feels like that he borders along a socialism. We got to go for a break. We'll break that down when we come back. What is socialism? What is not in your perception of it. But anyway, got a quick break. We'll be right back after this commercial. Mm-hmm. All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you once again for tuning in to the truth behind the truth tonight with the two truths. All right. So, as I was getting into, let me remind you guys. I'm sorry, we don't have our mugs, and I need to get back and remind you guys about supporting us, getting your mugs. We do have our mug contest still continuing to go on. Give us 5 likes and 5 shares. We'll send you a complimentary mug. Send it to ttbttshow@gmail. All right, ttbttshow@gmail. And that same email address, if you have any extended comments that you want to make and for us to review on an upcoming show, send an email to that address as well. If you want to help support the show, you can send a request at the same email address for your mug. It's $13.99. We'll send that mug out to you as well. What else on the email address? That was it. Yeah, that's it.
I think it was all of it.
All right. Oh yeah, no, I'm supporting us from our other. You can support us by sending Cash App donations as well to our Cash App, the Truth Behind the Truth on Cash App, and then on our Venmo, you can also do it as well, and that's ttbttshow@gmail on Venmo. All right. So anyway, you guys, as I was saying, where we are with situation, we're going to bring up Bernie Sanders and just what would happen if he was in the mix, of things, even though he isn't. But just the whole idea is and give an idea on where do we stand as a country, okay? Because of this series of shows that we're doing, it's called Navigating Your Life in America, in and around America. So how much of your perspective of the way that you'd like to see America be and supportive and whatever the case may be, do you border along the lines of socialism? Because a lot of times the people have these conversations, they consider Bernie Sanders all the way to the right because he wanted universal health care, which we got. Okay. He wanted to make sure that families had a certain stipend per month to help with the expenses of those that do not have or are unable to find jobs that pay them adequately to support themselves as a family. Okay. Ones with kids. Okay, I just want to put that out there for JD, whatever his name is. And what else did he say that he wanted? That it was, being able to take care of the seniors as they got older. So I don't see where that's socialism. You know, there's 2/3 of the world actually has great things in place to take care of their citizens of their country. I don't know why we have a problem with offering that opportunity or thinking it's moving to a level. So, do y'all understand?
Well, that's more of a conservative notion with that, because you have people who want you to pick yourselves up from this imaginary bootstraps that they keep pushing you down when you're trying. They don't like equal opportunities.
Good,
because to be honest with you, that's something that I can. That I would vote for Harris, because I believe everybody should have an equal opportunity to be successful. But then you have those who believe in keeping people out, keeping certain people out, keeping certain genders out. Like he's like, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. Basically, that is the case right now. There's a whole bunch of people who are just working their heads off. But to be honest with you, you have those who would rather want you to work your heads off instead of think. And that's where I feel like at the end of the day, that's the problem with people who believe that, well, because you don't have this type of job, because you don't live as if you don't have this type of money, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't be able to have because I earned this. Whatever I did, I got. You should go get your own. You shouldn't have what I have. You should go get your own. And that is the conservative notion about socialism. Socialism to them is based on what they feel is communism. It's built on
equal. That's crazy, because communist countries don't do that for their people. They don't have universal health care. They don't have to do all the type of stuff that people have to buy into. You know, I mean, so I don't understand how that you feel that way, or let's break it down a little bit more further. Okay, and then like you mentioned about they don't want to have to. So why is it that when people of certain colors that go into a bank, okay, that they have an idea to start a business, to be independent, what you want them to do, which typically comes from the Republican Party, okay, that the right Republican Party that wants you to be independent and grow your own, your own world, your own wealth and all this stuff. But they try to go to a bank to obtain a loan, but they're told no, okay, because of the color of their skin.
Yeah, that's the disparity of race.
And what has been happening in America forever. Okay, so let's not, until you get a full scope of things, that's just one area. Okay, man. But then again, you do have people coming into the country that they walk up to Bank of America, okay, that will go up to Wells Fargo and all these other, and obtain a loan for simply just walking in. Okay, but here are people that have been in here that have had ancestors that have died, hung, and swung. Okay, that cannot walk up to a bank. Great, thank you. Great picture. They cannot walk up to a bank and get a loan to start their own business. Okay. And why are we allowing that to happen?
And to think about that, go back to that picture. Bring that picture up again, Charles. Bring that picture up. Even during that time, Black people were paying taxes. They were paying their fair share of taxes. But taxes with the schools that you go into, the libraries that you could go to right now, they couldn't go into those libraries and pick up a book. They couldn't even go to a school of their choice and learn, but they were still paying taxes. That's the unfair advantage that some Black industrialists and capitalists who support this MAGA cult would want us to go back to. But then on top of that, we can have our own. We can have everything. We can have everything within our own community. But it's still, if we're having to pay taxes for everything else, that's when I have a problem. Why would I want to pay money for stuff I can't even use because I'm Black? That was the situation during Jim Crow. You had a lot of Black people who were paying their fair share of taxes, but couldn't send their kids to certain schools and couldn't just go get a book, or couldn't even use or have the same advantages of their fellow working class white citizens. And that in itself is wrong. And that's the one thing I will vote for Harris, because she believes in equal opportunity. She doesn't believe that a police union, well, let's just say this, and I'm going to put it out there. Trump believes that anybody and anything could go in and just take over. The police union, for example, believe in full immunity for a police officer who can come into your home and just shoot you.
Well,
we just had a
woman,
Sonia Massey, I think that was her name. That just happened not too long ago. But this man that y'all want us so bad to vote for because you don't believe in gay marriage, you don't believe in women controlling the country, you don't believe in them controlling their bodies, you don't believe in none of that stuff, but you believe that a police officer can come into my home and just because I can pick up a hot pot of water, he can just shoot me in my face. And don't even put in the fact that she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Right. Now, see, that one thing as a Christian, I would say, wait a minute. So you're going to support somebody who was just as evil as that person. When she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, the bullet had to fly. Right. You know, it's just stuff like that. I don't understand. What makes that okay to people? Let me in. Darn it. Oh, darn it. I said, let me in. Did he want to say something too? But you know what? Since we're on that subject matter, let me bring this up to y'all who are listening. Hey, D, how you doing? I'm going to bring this up. And this is so important. Hold on for just a minute, D.
Do not reform the damn police unions first. Police unions are a different breed when compared to other unions. First and foremost, when it comes to police union, there's no representation when it comes to people who look like me. When it comes to their collective bargaining, they make it harder for police departments to fire officers. They even weaken the damn civilian review board and the police internal affairs department. And you know what? They prevent police chiefs from providing oversight to officers. Meanwhile, they got a legal damn slush fund that defends officers who are sued for misconduct. And that doesn't even include qualified immunity. So it's not a damn coincidence that Trump gets endorsed by most of them. Hell, most of them look like his ass. They think like his ass. In 2016, he got endorsed by the largest police union, Fraternal Order of Police. They endorsed him again in 2020. Let me tell you about the audacity of this damn union. By now, we all should know about what took place in this photo. We all saw the video. Y'all saw how Sonia was literally 10 feet away from the police officer when he unalived her and then lied about it. He had his camera off. Well, that same police union that I was telling y'all about is feeling some type of way. They want justice for that police officer. They filed a grievance. The grievance was terminated without just cause. Furthermore,
wow. Well said. Well said. Go ahead, Darnell. We'll let you start off.
Well, it just goes back to his rally that he had on just the other day when he was stating the factor that telling the Christian people, he was telling the Christian people to go out and vote for him, and you don't have to do it one time. And after this time, you won't have to do it anymore. So basically telling, and then goes on to say that therefore he's going to make it where therefore you don't have to worry about all the voting, this, that, another, and the third. So you're basically now turning around, making yourself be a king. United States, we don't have a king. We have presidencies. Right. Then on top of that, you turn around and you say that you're going to give the police back their power, as you were stating right before I came on, about the factor of giving them back their power. So therefore, when they do things like they did to Sonia Massey, the same thing they did to George Floyd, the same they did to numerous amount of other individuals, that therefore they won't be prosecuted. They won't be held accountable. As if that's the same thing that he's trying to do. He's trying to get back into position so therefore he don't have to worry about being prosecuted. But therefore it won't happen. I don't see it foreseeing it happening in this lifetime. I think that people are now waking up and trying to see what the fact that he's saying, because it's like when you start, if Fox News start to stating the fact of those things that you're saying, and then it's circulating amongst your people, because this is your station. Fox News report for the Republicans. They don't report for us. Right. When they start reporting all the bad things as far as you, everybody's just kind of getting sick of him and his foolishness. His lies, you having to tell one lie to cover another lie, and another lie to cover another lie. And he don't want to debate it because he know that therefore his lies is going to start to coming out, and she's going to start to really calling him on it. So it's just one of those things that we got to wake the heck up, get up on out there, continuously wake up, because I tell you, I can say one thing. I'm tremendously proud of the people within this week, because you've seen people of all color, shape, sizes, money, everything coming out doing their part. How Florida #1. When Florida came in just this other day, when that's on his ground, where you had all of those people out there. They won up, and you still meet more of them than you seen of us out there showing up for Harris. So that was big. I don't think that he think that she was going to have that type of response, the type of response that she's gotten. I think is that people want change. They just need to see someone who was willing to bring about that change, or even talking about what they need to talk about to hear. They need to hear it, what they want to hear from it. And I think that she's giving the people what they need. He just been spewing a whole bunch of bullshit.
Let me say this too. It's more prevalent with, and I hate to say this though, and I'm not trying to throw off, but it's more prevalent with black men on social media, and I'm getting tired of this. You got black men talking about, well, y'all, we don't need to just go out and vote. You got to make them work for what you want. And I don't have there is no problem in making these people work for what we as a community would want. But understand, when you give up away your right to vote, you're giving up away for the right to be a citizen, and not only a first class, but you're giving them reason to make a second class. I'm so tired of people like Umar and these rappers, some of these folks that are these entertainers that are going around saying, well, Kamala did this as a prosecutor. She prosecuted more black men. So, okay, then fine. She prosecuted more black men, but were they criminals? Number one.
Why are you doing the crime? If you don't
want
the
video just surfaced. The video surfaced recently, and I just reposted that video where therefore she was stating about the mere fact of all, and then a lot of them, they've been like, okay, yeah, now I see. I understand now, because that's why I say you have a lot of us. What we don't do, we go off of sound bites, and when we don't read, we don't understand.
And then on top of that, the Nina Simone Foundation, the people who run her stuff right now, they put her in this situation where I don't know if Nina Simone had full control, or her family had full control of what was going on with her music or her money. But then they said that she, out of all of a sudden, she was one of the people who gave the rights to her art to some white people, and now they control Nina Simone's estate over her family. Wow. But my question to that is, why, as artists, and why people who have some form of investment in money, why do you not have your paperwork together?
That's a whole
and I'm saying this not to just throw off on Nina Simone's family, but I'm just saying this. I'm tired of people like, when it boiled down to Michael Jackson stuff and Whitney Houston stuff and all this stuff. What Aretha stuff? Why are your papers not together? And why should you have to go through the courts to get some control over money and over music that belong to your family? But I'm going to give you all this little tidbit, and I'm so sorry for cutting you off, though. I'm so sorry.
It's called Juneteenth. Go ahead.
Nina Simone's husband was her manager. Nina Simone's husband was her manager at the peak of her career. And during the peak of her career, he was abusing her. So in the midst of managing her career and abusing her, why did he not have her paperwork together? And he had a daughter with her too. Why did he not have the paperwork? So when it boiled down to her, both of them going to glory or transitioning, that the family, it would be all within the family to have all this stuff together. But now you're going to blame this woman for doing her job. Make it make sense.
Well,
I'm just saying.
No.
Make it make sense.
Excellent point. So let's go. This take a
sorry
walk.
for cutting you off, Darnell. I'm so sorry.
Let's take a walk back as to what I was saying. Before we went on break. And I was inserting, how people of color have been put in position of not being able to obtain wealth if they have business and things like that because the banks were not in place, or not allowing that. So I think what has happened here, and we can, go down a list of all these different people and what it is that these people get control of their wealth, their prosperity, and they don't have wisdom. They don't have wisdom to manage it. Okay, so typically, unfortunately, now there's a new era, but the previous generation did not know how to manage money. They didn't know how to manage wealth. They didn't know how to position themselves in when wealth was there to make it grow. Okay, and to educate a new generation that came along behind that. At the end of that. Now, one thing we can say until he starts squatting, well, he didn't. He messed up too, though. I was gonna say Joe Jackson was probably one you could say, even though his tyrant way of doing things.
Bad investments.
Bad investments. Okay, he did try to invest the money to keep the family going, but they were bad investments. So not knowing the knowledge of what to invest in, not to, whatever. I mean, he should have hung out. Well, anyway, I won't bring Barry Gordy in this, but these are people that again have been on the front line for years. Okay, Barry's still around, whatever the case may be. We've said it on previous shows. Why hasn't all of these different individuals have created free teaching seminars? Go into the community, educate people on these things. Now, much as I don't like hip hop, okay, and I've got my problems with it or whatever, but one of the things that this generation of hip hop, that they are going in managing their wealth.
I don't know about that, but keep it moving. But I don't know about
what
that.
I mean by that, the pseudo wealth, because they're owning their music.
No, they're not. No, they're not. I want to believe it, but I want to believe it, but I don't believe it because what one generation did not learn, the next one would never learn. But Darnell, if you have something, go ahead and say what you were going to say.
This is the thing. A lot of them, what they learn is this. And see, this is what happened when you have people like Aretha and all the other artists that you work on. That's with any job, any job, any place that you work on. That's just even with the people who I used to work for. When you get behind the scene, you start to learn a lot of things.
Yes.
When they put you in position to make you look like you have it.
Okay.
So a lot of them, they're put in position to look like they had it because that's what celebrity means. Celebrity is the factor that you are an influencer to make people look and follow.
Okay.
That's the word. That's what celebrity is. It's all an illusion.
That's right.
So when they get in those positions, guess what? You turn around, and by the time you turn around and you get to a place, you're still in so much debt that you don't know anything about.
That's true.
They don't have those people. They don't know anything about the fact of they're on the forefront on paperwork. They make them look like, yeah, you this, that. No, the net worth is just the factor of what commercials, assets, this, that, and the other and third. That's not the money that these people have in the bank.
Right. Well, that's true.
They don't have that. They don't have that money in the bank at all. Period. No whatsoever.
They will
see
give
these
you,
people. They got $100 million.
Right. They'll give you $100,000 to get in front of a video and throw it up in the air and make it look like you got money. That's all. That's your whole paycheck.
Even Fannie Mae said, "I do everything for myself. Nobody has to cook for me but me because I don't have that type of money." Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say we got a quick break. With more. We got a quick break. We'll be right back from this quick break. Navigating your life in America, figuring out your money. We'll be right back.
Call 844-55-STARZ. It's Junk Stars, baby.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed,
call Junk Stars.
You need dumpster rentals,
call Junk Stars.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth. I want to give a shout out to our mom. Thanks for watching tonight, Mom. I appreciate you. Also want to give a shout out to my cousin, my other cousin. I got a lot of cousins out there, y'all. But my cousin Clarence, he's out there watching tonight. He supports us in silent a lot of times. But thanks, Claire, for being part of us tonight as well. But anyway, so back into what you were saying, Darnell. Go ahead and make your point, and we're gonna move on. We're gonna get out.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing when it comes down to it. I think what it was is this. When you say how someone else ended up owning it, the thing about it is this: she didn't own it from the beginning.
Okay.
So that's what the problem was. Okay. She didn't own it from the beginning. So when you don't own something from the beginning, you can only turn around and sit back and go to court to try to get the thing what you didn't own to get it, and that's what happened to her with a lot of people or whatever the case may be. The whole Aretha thing, she just was a bad money manager. She didn't know how to manage her money. That's it. That's all. Or like a lot of people. Just when anybody who come into money, or whatever the case would be. We all think that you're able to manage money. You're so well with it, this, that, another, and third. If in fact anybody could do anything greater than what they were doing, or whatever the case would be, you would be living in a mansion on a hill right now, instead of wherever you're living at right now. So I tell people, before we sit back and try to say, hey, well, they should have did this and they should have did that, you don't know it until you get in that position.
This is true.
Managing millions is nothing like managing hundreds.
Right. Yes, no, that's the truth. See, before you go into another tax bracket, you got to already be speaking the money. So if you're still hanging on being 100 years, you surely don't have any room to put millions in your mouth. Okay, so you're a hundredaire. All right. Okay, if you're a hundredaire, be a damn good hundredaire. Okay, if you're a thousandaire, be a damn good thousandaire. All right, but be allowing yourself to move up to the scale, because if you want to be a millionaire, or if you're planning to be a millionaire, then you have got to start talking like a millionaire. You've got to start acting like a millionaire. You can't say I can't afford it. It's not a part of your vocabulary.
You have to start thinking like Tyler Perry.
Well,
and I'm not trying to be funny, but you know what?
Saving money is the biggest thing. That's what rich people do. Rich people don't actually spend money. They save.
Right. Let me ask you this question real quick. While we're in this little subject as we're navigating. So you being a chief accountant, all right, and and maybe we're gonna maybe in next season we'll chisel out some time for you to kind of give some investment tips on where people can go with developing business. You and Jonathan have developed, I think, 2-3 businesses, some rise, some fall, some great, some keep moving, or whatever it is. But the investment, the idea of the investment, the need and the desire, this is what business people do. Doesn't mean every business is going to be at the top of the line every time. You're learning this one, take to this one to the point where that one does it, at the end of the day. So, and I think what happens is a lot of times when something doesn't take off like we anticipate, because, I've invested, and then we run away from the idea. There's a creative power that is in you, okay, that from every step of developing a business, you learn something different to make the next one even better. And you capitalize on to be even better than what you were the very first time around. I mean, I've had 2 personal training companies. The last one was a great opportunity, all right? But when you're looking for people to invest in you rather than you investing in yourself, and creating that network for yourself, then people have more control over you in terms of what they do. And they tell you what they can and what they'll put into it, what they won't, But anyway, go ahead, Darnell.
That's kind of to what you just stated. And that's kind of what happened with a lot of people. Some people needed that push to be able to get up off the ground, and they know that therefore someone with a bigger name or a big corporation or whatever the case may be can be just that. And of course, yes, they're going to have control over the company in certain phase of doing it, said and other. I tell a lot of people, if you are in financial position, do all of your things financially and just use them for their pushing. I'll give you 5% just for you for your advertisement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't allow them to do the creative work to be able to do all the marketing and this, because then they can start to racking up a bill on you. Well, I pay X, Y, and Z for this for marketing, or whatever the case may be. No, you didn't. I paid X, Y, and Z for this for marketing. Only thing you did was use your name to push it. And that's what I tell a lot of people when it comes down to things like now. The greatest gift with this election is this. She's now getting. We know this almost $300 million. Is money that has been raised from people.
Right.
It's been shown that it's raised from people. No one said, hey, we can put $300,000 behind you. You have to check our agenda.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the greatest gift about this. Unlike him, everybody who go all the money that comes behind him, this is coming from people that want you to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You got to do this.
Right.
Because if you don't do this or whatever case, that's how Elon Musk turned around and took that 45 million away from me, because he didn't push his agenda.
Right. That's true. That is absolutely the truth. When it comes down to that, man, that was the point I was going to bring about wealth. Go ahead with your next. I'll bring it up in a minute.
No, because to be honest with you, that's now the case with our political world as we speak. The average American really, I hate to say it, don't have a say in their own destiny. It's the rich economists, the capitalists, the industrialists, the people who run these corporations. They have so much to gain because the money that they put in behind this machine that's supposed to be helping give us some form of equal level foundation. But the saddest thing and the reality of it is that because of this, you have no platform to stand on. I think that's what made, I'm so sorry, the civil rights movement so what it was, because the people realized their power. The people realized that they had something to say. In order to say it, we're going to have to boycott financially. You don't see a Woolworths no more, do you?
Sure don't.
And you know who they became? Foot Locker.
Wow.
They turned themselves into Foot Locker.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Really?
that's
that.
Woolworths.
What?
Yeah, they're now Foot Locker Inc. But the saddest thing about it, that's what it's about. Is a people. I always tell people, in order to break what is so normal within our economy, we must have to boycott the economy. Now, and it sounds crazy, but it could work. Because what you would be doing, you're having to get back to caveman times and start doing things for your damn self. Right. But that's what would break.
But this is the kicker part about it, though, is that we are, number one, in the financial gain of the system is this. The African American culture, we bring in majority of the biggest portion of financials in the country.
But could you imagine if we just reverted that? Oh my God!
No,
but
this is the thing. We have been so our mind has been so programmed to be able to have all this type stuff because that's what we watch on. And I tell people, doing and having is great. I tell people, I'm all for doing and having. Have what you want, do what you want. You work for it, go do it. It's your money. I don't tell people what to do with their money. If you want to go out and buy a horse and you know you can't ride a horse, you scared of them. It's your money. Do it.
Okay.
You know, but I think that if we became smarter with our money, made great investments with our money, we band together as one with our money, we will really be a force, even more force, because we're why do you think that everybody be so, they're not, it's not the fact that they think that black people are evil. They're afraid that if we get together, that therefore we can be a true force.
But here's the thing. Let me submit this as we're talking about. So why are we not smart with our money? Why is it?
You know, we've been raised to be crabs in a barrel.
Well, let me just, well, I get that. But the question is that, you know, it's time out to all of the complaining about what's not being done and what's not being done. Where do we start? Okay, and you can start again right here on the Truth Behind It. The suggestion I just gave about, you know, doing our, you know, in season 5, maybe you could take an economic corner, you know, and share about that. But why is it that the same behavior has never changed? We do not move forward to wealth. You know, and the talk and the communication about what is all around you. You know, I honestly.
Well, look at your family.
Well, you know, I know.
Look at my family.
I know, but
we have people in our family that has money, but the talk around the dinner table is nothing but mess.
But
family drama, family trauma, mess. Look at our.
That's to go back to off what you're saying right there, darling. Is this? The reason why a lot of us, we have the mind to do it and we don't do it is because this. If I do it and it fails, it's going to be the conversation of the family.
You know,
that is the reason.
We've got to get to the fact that self-confidence does mean opportunity for failure.
We have a whole studio out there in Burbank as we speak called Warner Brothers. A family of brothers who decided failed multiple times. And Jewish too. Since we would like to
know with our culture, child, listen, you know with our culture, think about this. If you turn around and you go out here and you get this business, you know mama done turn around and brag. The mama done turn around. Mama done turn around and bragged on you with all her girlfriends and her sisters and all these other people throughout the town because you probably ain't come from a humongous place, a lot of us, or whatever the case would be. And then you go and then business don't go so well. Guess what? Then you're going to be the talk of the town. So what a lot of people, they instead of them going out and stepping out and doing it, and if I fail, I can try again, they rather just not do it at all. Because therefore they feel like if I fail or whatever, me feeling I don't have time to hear the criticism. I don't have the time because we've been listen a lot, especially when it comes down to the men. They have been beaten down so much, or whatever the case may be. They can't tell their true raw emotion to say, "Hey, I'm afraid to do this because of this."
Right.
Because men are supposed to be this strong individual. You're supposed to be this great
right.
provider, all this, that, and other.
But
And that's
even with that,
BS.
right. But even with that point that you're making there, there's a point where you have to come outside of your situation and your circumstances or whatever and gain information and knowledge for yourself. You walked across stage at Alabama State. You walked, I'm not sure where you graduated, but the college you graduated or the university you graduated from.
Savannah State.
Everybody had to,
Savannah State.
Savannah State. Okay.
Savannah State, and it's the HBCU.
Right. So you walk, we had to walk across the stage as an individual. Okay. There was no, whether you liked the school or not, whatever the case, you still had to walk across that stage by yourself as an individual. And you had all kind of obstacles to prevent you from making across that stage. But you decided to say, I'm not going to allow these obstacles to prevent me from walking across that stage. Now, you didn't know what your tomorrow was going to bring, but somehow the self-confidence developed in you to walk across that stage. So my question is that why are we not walking across these stages? I'm not talking about schools, but these stages in our lives, okay? And there's a time when you didn't pass a test. I'm sure there's many tests you didn't pass. I'm sure there's tons of tests that you didn't pass. But guess what? You went back in, okay, and found a way to overcome that test and be good at that test. So why are we giving up at the first test? Why are we giving up at the first no? Darnell, you and I all out through it. In sales, what is it? The 7 sales, the one is yes. So you got to ask 7 times for one sale. So if I know this, why are we not knowing this? Why are we not knowing? We got a program that comes on every Friday evening, okay, on Channel 7 at 9 p.m. or 9 or 10 p.m. called Shark Tank. It has been on for 15 seasons, 15 years. And I promise you, by the show of hands, how many people watch that show? Okay, if you want to learn and the principal ways of developing and putting yourself from a group of billionaires, okay, but you're still thinking about 100 there. All right, around a group of billionaires that sit around and they have the type of wealth that can tell a person what they do and what they don't do. And people come in with all kind of ideas, but a lot of them don't get the financing that they want. But they walk away and say, what? I'm going to still make it with them or without them. Okay. There was a chance they hoped that they would buy it, but you know what? I'm going to still be successful without them. It's a great opportunity right there. But I'm saying to you guys, here's information. There's a lot of information. There is a lot of stuff on YouTube. There are videos that tell you how to be successful in business. There's a musical. What's that musical? How to do what in business, or whatever, but they make fun of the idea, but there's a true story in a musical about the same thing. It was a business something. Anyway, it's out here in LA too. But anyway, my point is, and then I'm gonna let you guys finish. But we need to stop blaming. We just need to stop pointing fingers. Okay, get your ass on YouTube, put it in front of you, take notes. Okay, take notes for your success. There are things that I send out to people all the time. They don't pay a damn attention to them. There's motivational. If you own Instagram, there's stuff that come across Instagram that motivates you every day. You cannot allow yourself to stay in one state of mind when the universe is giving you information. Hey, change your thought pattern, change your mind, change your association.
But that's too much like taking accountability.
That's the truth. Elaborate on that. Elaborate on that, please.
Because nobody wants to really take full accountability over their
stop
lives.
Complaining.
Well, that's too true to be too good to be true. Everybody that wants to complain. That's deflecting. Right. That's basically deflecting. That's not complaining. People who complain about politics, complain about what's going on in their world, they like to deflect from the fact that you're not doing anything.
Thank you.
And sometimes I have to reel myself in too. Every time I complain about certain things, I'm like, well, you can't say too much because you support it. Your silence supports what you don't like. It's like at the end of the day, I know that I got to get out and vote. I know in order, and not only vote federal, but vote local and vote state. I can't sit back and complain about what Trump and what this person is not doing with that unless I get out there and make moves. I think I could be doing more.
Tell the facts.
But the facts are the facts. And I think that's what is in this society, we always say, well, I want a relationship. I want to be successful. I want to be rich. Well, in order to be that, you like you say, you must change your thinking pattern, your thought pattern. But then that's like, I don't want to take accountability. I don't want to be responsible. I want to stay in this situation because I feel like it's easy to deflect and to be a victim, which I'm not. And I think that's what's wrong with society. You know,
that's what's going on with when it comes down to businesses. I tell people this, and another thing I try to get people to realize is too, everyone is not meant to be a business owner.
amen. Oh, there you go. And there's
So
nothing wrong
everybody's
with
not
that.
meant to be a business owner, and yes, and because we got to have people out here working in other different stations and areas doing things or whatever the case may be. Work running a business and building a business is a hard
It is.
job.
It
You don't
is.
see a return on business for a good 4 to
Long
5
time.
years.
Long time. But you know, and you made an excellent point. One of the things is how you perceive yourself. Okay, as you said, there are all kind of opportunities out here for for people to do, and whatever the case may be. It is how you see yourself. Now, if you're going to be a burger flipper, be the best damn burger flipper that there is.
Yeah, have some integrity in your work.
Have integrity, but don't come to work with girl and flapping the nails and and got your hair going on and snap, snap, snap. But eyelashes you can't even see the customers. Okay, that's not a person of success. Okay, there is opportunity to move forward, and you don't have to be the business owner. I mean, let's just talk McDonald's. McDonald's has put a lot of people in great places. A lot of people in great places. Okay, they don't get enough credit for
even
what
though
their
done. Food don't put your stomach in the right place.
Well, that's another story. But I like the point where you were saying about that, Darnell, because there is. But here, even if you are quote unquote employed by somebody, you're still a business owner. You're still selling something to this company. Okay, that they hired you to perform a duty. Okay, but if you look at yourself as working for somebody, then you never are a business owner. You work for yourself because you come in and you clock in on time. You work for yourself because you keep your uniform pressed. You work for yourself because you come in with a great attitude. You work with yourself because you come in and greet the customers or whatever else. That's a part of your subcontracted way of performing. Okay, so there are ways of like looking at it. Yeah, you don't have the overhead. You don't have to worry about the fryer breaks down. I'm just using McDonald's as an example. The fryer breaks down. No. But yet you are an independent business owner. You are. So if you don't,
that's how he was at Ashley.
Yeah, independent business owner. You paved the way for yourself in that opportunity. So what we in a nutshell here, because I know we got to get ready to wrap it up. In a nutshell here, how you perceive yourself in your life will how your life will dictate to you. So if you come from a position that is really low, guess what? There's a lifeline out there, but that lifeline has to start with you. You got to reach out and grab that lifeline and pull yourself up to another level. You cannot stay in a place of blame. Okay, it is easy to blame, like he just said, and not take responsibility. It's very easy to be in that vein, but it takes more responsibility to accept. I have been through this, but I am going to be the person that's going to change my life. If you don't, you do. Go ahead. You got last word to bring on that.
Go ahead. Well, I would say this though, and especially like I was telling, we have Jeremiah here with us, but I sometimes when I talk to him, I'm talking to myself because I see so much of myself in Jeremiah, and when I'm trying to explain certain things to him, I'm also explaining things to myself. Because truth behind the truth, I don't care how old you are, 18, 37, 47, 57, there's still a lot of growing. Because we still have things in our lives that keep us held down. There has been words that have kept us in a jail cell for many years, and it takes something to have to set us free. And at times, I have to remind myself, you cannot stay in this place for too long. Life is too short, and in order for you to do the work, like you said, you must have to change your way of thinking because nobody's not going to come and save you. You have to save yourself. Behind the truth.
Yourself. You better know.
Go ahead, Darnell. You got a quick wrap.
And we got to save. We're going to have to save this damn country because we got to get our ass out here and vote.
Black women doing a good job.
That's all. Right. Listen, I tell you this. This has been crazy, and I say this. Out of all the craziness, I can honestly say this. Because I've been on watch, like I've been watching a newborn baby at nighttime. We as in people we have been doing a phenomenal job coming together when it come down to the fact since in this week with just her, how fast swiftly things have been happening. It's like the people have been stepping into place to do what needs to be done. You know, you have all different organizations. You got the Caucasian men that set up the same thing, the Zoom the meeting and donation things, the gay men, or whatever the case, for LGBT people. You got, of course, you know, the sorority has turned around. They're gonna stay and stood up and stand out. They're gonna do their thing, or whatever the case may be. You have someone big as Bill Gates' wife who has never endorsed anyone. They've never endorsed anyone throughout the whole presidency. $54 million. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Netflix, 7 million. We talk about people, ain't talking about little nickel and dime. These people are coming up with big songs, or whatever the case may be. So I can say I'm proud of the people for coming forth as of thus far, but I want them to potentially get her or where she needs to be and get her in the office. We have to beat our feet on the pavement and get.
That's right.
What we got to get done.
I totally agree. You know, and it's great to see this.
And do not listen to Umar Johnson and all these other crazy clowns, these criminals who don't want nothing better for our community but to keep us down and to keep us in our oppressed. Exactly.
Because there's money and
Team USA in Olympia.
Yes, I was about to say. So we had. I know we needed to wrap it up a minute ago, but yeah, Team USA in Olympia. I can't wait to see Simone bring it on. And my favorite, the African American gentleman in gymnastics. That boy gonna kick butt. He gonna kick butt. He gonna bring home the gold. And we want to send our love to our Aunt Helen. For our transition of Uncle Eddie this past week. I think the homegoing service is tomorrow, I believe, right? I think it is in Prideville. So we're sending our love from the show because she watches us from time to time, as well. So love to the family, love to everyone. Thanks, Mom, for tuning in tonight as well, and all my cousins and brothers and everybody else that was out there. We appreciate you guys. So we will see you right back here with more conversation as we are navigating your life, our life in America.
And thank you, Procter and Gamble, for that Camberell apology.
You know what? I cannot.
She turn around and we'll talk about it afterwards.
We'll talk about it next week. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. Thanks again for tuning in to what?
The truth behind the truth.
Good
night. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.